Welcome back to the channel for another video on our 05 STI. As we continue to get this car back up and running, we're doing some more maintenance on the video today. So we are going to be doing a transmission service on the car and a differential service. So we're going to be draining the trans, refilling it with our cocktail, the same one that we have in our 22 WRX. And then we're also changing the diff fluid. And it is getting a different type of fluid that the 22 WRX has, since this has a different type of rear diff. So I'll show you at the bench real quick of what we got for today, and let's just jump right into it. Let's go. And over here, these are the fluids that I've laid out that are going in our 05 STI. So this is the same cocktail that we have in our 22 WRX. 2 quarts of the lightweight shockproof and 2 quarts of the 75 weight 90. And then we have our new drain plug gaskets for when we do that. And then for the rear diff, a little bit different, but we're using a 90PA since this is a different type of differential. I'm not going to go into it too much, but this is the type of oil that the 05 STI rear diff needs. And the cool thing about it is that there's, if I recall, there are no gaskets or anything like this when I looked up. It's actually just a temp sensor on the top that threads in, and then it is just just like a half-inch square on the bottom. So we should be able to just pop both those off, drain it, refill it, and then the cool thing about the 05 STI that's different than our 22 WRX is that it actually has a dipstick for the transmission right here. So we're actually going to fill through the dipstick instead of on the side of the trans. So I thought that's a cool little thing that's a little bit different from the 05 versus this is a newer style trans. So this is like a 2015 plus setup. But cool thing that's just a little bit different. But enough talking. Let's start in the back of the car. The car is stock ride height, so we don't even need to jack it up. You do want to do this on a level surface. So I've already crawled under and I've already checked. I can get my hand underneath, and we can just drain it like sitting just like this. And then we have a little pump, and we can just pump it right back in. So let me get you guys set up underneath, and we'll get it drained and filled up again. Let's go. All right, so we're under the car. You see this is our rear diff here. Similar setup of the 22 WRX, as it's the same diff, but just like the rear subframe and everything's much different. But nonetheless, it's basically the same. But the inside of the diff is different too. That's why we're using different fluid. But so this is our sensor here. This is our fill. This is our drain here. So we just need to unplug this right here. And then now we just need to loosen this. You always want to loosen the fill first, and then you loosen the drain. So let me get the drain pan under here. I will take the top one off, and then we'll take the bottom one off. Just like that, our rear diff is done. So I've almost finished draining everything, but I just want to show you guys the fluid. It's a little sludgy. I mean, there's no like material or anything in it, so it's actually not that bad, but it definitely looks like it definitely needed to get changed. And there's our fluid that we swapped in. So I ended up just using the fluid exchanger, and that just really helped just like push all the fluid in that we needed. But rear diff is done. Got to move on to the transmission next. So we'll actually get it jacked up. And what I'll do is I will open the drain plugs, and then I will lower the car back onto the drain pan. Since the car's stock ride height, there's a lot of room underneath there. But I just need a little bit of room to loosen those drain plugs. We'll let it drain for just a minute, and then I'll put the plugs back in, and then we'll just add from up top because we're adding from the dipstick on this car. So enough talking. Let's get the front differential and transmission done right now. All right, so we got the car up in the air now, and I just went under and checked, and it's different than the 22 as well as far as the two drain plugs. So one is a 15 and one is a 21. So the 21 is the Diff. It's the big one that's usually a T70. So that's actually just like a regular socket this time. So we're just gonna drain those. I will put the car back on the ground. As you can see, the car's only lifted up just like an inch or so right here, just enough so I can get under, crack them loose, and then I can pull the jack out and we'll get a good drain on it. But let's get these loosened up and we'll get it drained. All right, so after that quick little time lapse of us under the car, it has been a few days, but when I went under there, I noticed the bolt looked a little crusty. I thought it was a 15. I put it on there and it just rounded like right away, like it was the wrong size. So I put a 14 on it and it just wasn't right either. So the drain plug is pretty messed up down there, so I wasn't able to drain it. It was already messed up from the previous owner. So I do have a brand new drain plug from fasterbricks.com to replace our messed up one down there. I knew I could take it off with one of our extractor bits, but then it would just be too messed up to put back on. So I ended up just pausing, buying a brand new bolt, and we'll get that swapped out now. But let's go back under the car. We'll get it drained, and I'll show you what that bolt looks like once we take it out. But let's get it drained and check it out. Let's go. Once again, we are another week in the future, and as you saw in that short little time lapse again, and at the very end we had a picture of a broken extractor socket. So I ended up breaking the socket off, and there was just no way to get the bolt off. So what we ended up doing was now ordering a replacement transmission pan. So now we're just going to take the bolts out. They're like super accessible. Should pry right off. We got our new Permatex gasket sealer, so we can reseal it up, and it's a 90-minute gasket maker. So we'll follow the instructions on the package. But I did pick that up at just like the local hardware store. You can get it on Amazon as well. I mean, even more parts have shown up now. Since then, we even have an IG AOS sitting on our desk. But yeah, we still got to get this transmission fluid changed. So what I'm going to do to try to minimize the mess is we're going to take the front diff plug out, and we're going to drain that. Now I did already check I already did break that loose, and then just tightened that up. So we are able to drain the front diff to at least get some of the fluid out, to try to minimize the splash zone when we take this transmission pan off. But geez, what an adventure. I mean, the rear was super easy, and I mean, this should just be just a drain and fill, and now we're doing a transmission pan. So yeah, I feel like everything we touch on this car just needs just a little bit extra help. But yeah, I didn't expect we were going to be doing a transmission pan in this video, but here we are a few weeks later. But let's go into the car. We'll check out, we'll see what size it is. I don't know. I think it's like probably a 10 mil or a 12 mil. I'll look up the torque specs. I'll put them on the screen, and then yeah, we'll just try to take it off, hit the side of it with like a flathead to try to get in between it, and we'll see how big the splash is. But yeah, let's go into the car. Let's go. All right, all the bolts are out. So they were all 10 mil bolts to take off that trans pan, and it was a 21 mil for the front diff. So we got most of it drained out of the front diff. I'm sure there's more in there, but because I didn't put the car level yet. But yeah, let's try to get this trans pan off, and I'm sure we're gonna get most of the fluid when we take this out. But yeah, let's get this off and continue on. All right, we got our old crusty pan out, and we got our brand new one over here. So I already went under there and I razor blade and I got the surface cleaned. We'll go under and I'll show you what it looks like. But yeah, I just have the old one in the trash right now, but you can see the fluid's pretty dark and probably needed to get changed. Well, definitely needed to get changed. So yeah, I've never taken off one of these before. It actually came off very easy. All the bolts just came off, and then yeah, it just kind of wiggled off. Very, very, very light coat of RTV. So once I put this on, I'll just do the same thing, just a light coat over everything, smear it over everything, and then we will put it up there. But yeah, let's go into the car. I'll show what it looks like, and then we'll get this thing tacked up with our RTV, and we'll get it reinstalled. But yeah, let's go under and check this out. All right, so here is where our trans pan used to be. So it is razor edge flat now. I got all the gasket surface cleaned up. See, it's still dripping a little bit in our pan, but that's basically what it looks like. I think that's the filter on the bottom. That's the magnet over here. I did just wipe it off a little bit. There was quite a bit of debris on it, but I mean, I guess that's to be expected for a 20-year-old car. But yeah, I'm really excited to get this new fluid put in because it's just going to make the driving so much better. If you guys have ever done the BBR cocktail, you know this is definitely going to improve how everything feels. But yeah, let's get the RTV tacked up on our new transmission pan, and let's get this install finished, and then we will finally get to fill up our transmission with our new fluid. So we got the pan on, per the instructions on the Permatex bottle. The gasket maker says to put it on hand tight, wait about an hour, then we can torque them down. Torque spec is 4.7 foot-pounds, so I do have the torque wrench over there set to as close as I could get to 4.7. I did test it out on like the fender bolt and a couple other bolts on the car just to make sure it's not too tight, but 4.7 foot-pounds is the torque spec for it. And I want to show you guys a few things. The bolt that I couldn't get off, and like this is the one that we broke the extractor socket onto, so like, I mean, that sucker was not coming out, and I just wiped it out. So the inside's clean and everything. Gasket was super, super thin, so didn't put too much on the new one, but yeah, definitely destroyed that. Here's the fluid. I mean, it is dark. Let me grab a light. I mean, it is dark. I mean, I'm glad we're changing this. I mean, it definitely needed to get changed out. So, I mean, it's definitely going to drive so much better with this new fluid. Again, it's been a few weeks trying to make this video, but here is the BBR cocktail again. This is a 75 weight 90 Redline with our lightweight shockproof. So we'll get all of this added in to our transmission. We got about 30 minutes left waiting for it to dry. Then we can torque it down. And then it says wait another 90 minutes until we can add. So it'll be just a second for you guys, but it will take about another hour and a half or so, a little bit longer like that for me, but let's get it done. Let's go. All right, so finally, all of our fluids are changed on our drive line. It took the better part of like 2.5, 3 weeks to get this filmed, just since there was like a hiccup every step along the way when working on this transmission. But yeah, I showed you guys the bolt. I threw it in the trash can now, but I showed you guys the drain plug bolt. I mean, there is no hope getting that thing out. So, I mean, new pan, I mean, that was like honestly pretty easy. It just kind of just slid right off after we took all the bolts off, and just a thin layer of RTV. We followed the instructions on the box, so we should be good to go on the trans pan on this one, but I'll keep you guys updated if it does leak or anything. But that's all I got for you guys on this one. Till next week. See ya.